Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, there is a voice. Hello, Rachel.
It's the voice.
The voice from the beyond. How are you this morning?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Are you?
All right, I'm actually a bit tired, but I seem to have come round a bit now. Do you know what happened yesterday? We did the bow pose. So I couldn't sleep because it gave me too much energy and my brain was on fire. I could not stop thinking. So I won't be doing the bow pose before bed ever again. It's not in this class, don't worry. We're doing a very gentle class this morning. I think Chloe's here. Chloe's name is on the screen.
Right.
I don't know if she's in view or I think I'll just give her a minute or two to arrive.
I always like to look at her crocheted blanket.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
It is, it's amazing. I want one.
You like crochet blankets?
I just think anything that's been made by somebody, I just think it's amazing. Because I'm really khaki-handed, I can't make anything.
I can't see crocheting's in my family bloodline. Oh, she's here. There we go. We're talking about your blanket. We're having a chat about crochet. Yeah, my auntie. So my auntie had a big part in my bringing up, I suppose. My auntie Rita, and I might have mentioned her before. She had an accident when she was 8, and it left her paralysed down one side. And she's in her 80s now, late 70s. And she learned to crochet and knit when she went to special school it's out at Mayfield actually. And my whole house is adorned with crochet blankets. So if you ever want to come to the crochet gallery, downstairs in my room, I've got loads of different ones. She's changed her style as she got older, but she doesn't have a pattern or anything. She just makes them all up. I've usually got one in here, but it's left the room. So there we go. So yeah, so crochet and knitting and things like that, they're a meditation for some people.
Yeah.
And I read something as well the other day about channeling emotions, and I think I've saved it somewhere, and it was just some words about this grandma and this daughter, and this child had asked the mother or the grandma how she dealt with stuff, and she says you do it by using your hands. And so there we go. That's my little introduction this morning. We've got quite so as I was saying to Rachel, I was a bit tired last night because I couldn't sleep. So this morning's class, I felt it's time to flow into something different. We're going into the realm of we're traveling up through the chakra system basically, and we've done the foundation, we've done the earth, and we're going to move into the realm of the water and Swadhisthana chakra area. And poses that we practice here are peace pose, Padhastasana, which we do several times in yoga, but we don't really focus too much on it. So we'll work with Padhastasana, which is your forward bend pose. If you want to get a block or a cushion or something to place your hands onto when you come into a forward bend, you can do, or you can place your hands on the floor. It's up to you. What's this? Oh, we've got Charlotte as well. And then we're going to work with Sphinx pose. I know we've done it the past 2 weeks, but I'm going to teach it as a pose this morning. I'm just going to let Charlotte appear on the screen. Lynn's here as well, super duper. So just to remind you as well, I'm not here this Friday. So this Friday coming, I'm not here. I'm teaching in school this Friday, so there's no Friday class this week. But I can send you the replay of this one when we've done it, and you can do it again if you want to, or you can nip onto my YouTube channel. There are about 10 classes, I think, there now. So welcome, Charlotte. And welcome, Lynn. Everything's alive. So I was saying we're going to work with Padhastasana, the peace pose this morning. And we're going to stay down in our forward bend for a little while. So it might be worth having a block or something to place your hands onto so you feel safe and secure down there. I think we're all here now. So just welcoming everyone to the class. Welcome Rachel, welcome Chloe, welcome Charlotte, and welcome Lynn. So just arriving, come into a nice standing position. So this class is all about peace, peace and love. Working with the Heart Centre. We've got Valentine's next week, and I've been doing all sorts of heart-based stuff, so I wanted to incorporate it into the yoga we're doing. So just coming up to stand, and we're going to take the awareness into the right hand and just shake one hand to begin with. Feel like we need a bit of TLC. Just feel your fingers loosening out. Letting go of any tension. I'm sure if you've had a chance to look up to our big bright moon this past couple of days, it's been very, very bright. The churning. So today we're going to settle everything down. So feel into all your fingers, and then just direct that awareness into your thumb and your first finger, your middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Take it into the palm of your hand and your wrist. Our arms are an extension of our hearts. So when we work with our arms, when we do things creatively, it can really help us to express and release anything that's stuck. Separate your feet a little bit further apart and shake that arm down towards the ground. Feel your head and your neck and your shoulders relax, and feel as though any tension or tiredness, anything that you don't need, has been released to the ground. And then just let your arm relax down there for a moment or two. We're going to stand up, stretch up on that right side and reach all the way up. Breathe in, feel some space in your ribs, stretching up on that right side. And then the arm is going to come down as you breathe out. And we've got imbalance. Let's do the same on the left side. First of all, shake all your fingers. And then start to direct that awareness into your thumb. So just loosening up the joint in the thumb. First finger. Middle finger. The ring finger. Your little finger. Lovely. Feeling it now, loosening into the palm of your hand. And your wrist. Let it flow into the forearm, the elbow. Just shaking away tightness, tension. Feel it go into your bicep and your shoulder. And then you're just going to tilt forwards, shake it down to the ground. When we do this, it helps it travel into the trapezius. So that arm is loose. Let it hang down there. And it might move, it might be still. And then you're going to stand up on that left side and reach your arm all the way up into the sky. Breathe in, feel space in your ribs. And breathe out, let your arm come down. Step your feet closer together. Give both arms a bit of a shake. Angle the balls of the feet down. And just feel that the body stirring up. This is getting all the fluids in your body moving. And we're going to take the arms up above the body. Now breathe in, stretch up. Take a nice full lung of air, bend your knees and swing the arms back behind. Lifting back up, breathing in, stretching up. And as you breathe out, bend your knees, breathe out. I'm going to go back up, final time, breathe in. And breathe out, relaxing as you come down. Let your arms swing forwards. Let your head, your neck, your shoulders relax. And then bend your knees deeply, engage core, and raise your arms back up through the midline. We're going to stretch all the way up. Great, that lift through the sternum. Let your shoulders relax. And bring both arms down by your sides. Wow, so we've got new arms. Let's work with the legs. So pop your hands onto your hips for your balance. Pop your core muscles on. Lift your right foot and sit up on your toes. Let that ankle joint wake up. Lovely. Just taking it around in a few circles. Change your direction when you're ready. Fabulous. Give your foot a shake out. The sole of the foot, your toes. And then rise and letting that vibration rise into your calf muscle. Loosening up the strong muscle in your leg, your knee, your thigh. And then just let the leg come to the front. Kicking down through the top of the foot. And then just take it across the body for a moment. Bring that foot back around, place it back down. Take your weight into your right leg, lift your left foot and circle your toes. Just enjoying that movement. Change your direction when you're ready. And then give that foot a shake out. Loosen up the sole of your foot. Your calf muscle. Your knee. Allow it to rise up into the quad, into your thigh. And feel that relaxation. Loosening up, bringing the leg to the front. And then take it across the body. Bring your foot around, place the sole of the foot back down. Anchoring the balls of the feet down onto the mat. Just lift your heels up, lift one heel up, I should say. And then we're going to alternate. So we've just got transferring your weight between your left and your right foot, really stretching out your toes. And then place the tip of your right toe down onto the mat and stretch along the top of the foot. And then let your ankle really relax into it. Lovely. Change feet. Place the tip of your left toe down and just stretch through the top of the foot. Fabulous. Place both feet back down onto the mat and have a whole body little shake out. Bring everything into alignment. Lovely. So separate your feet a little bit further apart. Take your hands over towards the right side of the body. And we're going to move the hands from the right to the left. All the way over. Reach up high. Bend your knees as you come through the midline over to the left. And then we go from left to right. Lift up. Sit all the way around. So we're making a big letter E. So hands are at the right. You go from right to left. Sweep across. Lift up. Bend your knees, go all the way around. You're right, you're perfect. And then left to right, that's it. Breathe in, lift up, create that big circle. And then we go right to left, sweeping across. And it's as though you're moving something, you're shifting something out the way. To the left, up, sink into your knees. To the left. Breathe in as you lift up. Breathe out, sink down. Left, right. Now just softening into it. Now you've got used to the movement. Really synchronizing your breath. In breath lifts you up. Sink into your knees. And then you go from left to right. And then just soften into it. So if you want to do a few circles and just keep going, you can do. And let yourself go the other way if you've just been doing circles. And then pause with your arms up above your head. Breathe in, stretch up and feel that lift up through the sternum. Let your shoulders relax and let both arms descend down by your sides. Walk your feet a little bit closer together, soften your knees, and we're going to wake up the spine. Make sure you've got plenty of space around you. I love our Drew activation movements. They're just fabulous, aren't they? Your bodies just know that muscle memory, that wisdom is in you. I think every one of you could teach a Drew yoga class. Just keep your arms low to begin with. Years ago, my teacher, Wendy, she got a class of students, it'd all been going about 13 years. And she gave the class over to us, and each one of us taught one element of it. It was brilliant. And everybody walked out really confident. Let your arms lift up a little bit higher, middle of the back. And then let your hands come to that level of your shoulders. See our little friends just coming to join us. He's in the window. And then let your arms go up overhead. Enjoy that beautiful twist. And it's releasing that energy for your day today. Lovely. Bring your arms down now. Let your heels lift from the mat and lift the sternum. So you've got that gorgeous lengthening happening. The arms start to lift up again. Notice which part of your back is feeling stretched. So, hands are going back up into that space above. Stretch out your fingers. Embrace that twist. And feel as every twist is anchoring you into your space, into your body. And let those arms come down once more. I'm going to give the knees a little bend and sink down. And the heart rate going. Blood's pumping around the body. To your standing position. Just got an itchy thumb. Ah, lovely. So that's good to see. You got nice and warm. So back to standing. We're going to go into the shoulders. Just give you a moment or two to have a drink. Let your shoulders, just give your shoulders a few shrugs. And then lift both shoulders up towards your ears, breathe in. As you breathe out, relax those shoulders down, feel as though they're being pressed down. And just start to move the right and then the left. And the movement is more than just a shoulder movement. Your hips are included, and then you start to link your elbows into it. As you link your elbows in, your ribs lift. Get that space in the intercostal muscles. which are incredibly difficult to stretch. And swing your arms through. You've got compression in the lumbar part of your back. This is great. It squeezes the adrenals. Let's now come back to just your elbows. Up and back. And then just into those shoulders. Come back to standing. Circle your wrists a few times. Bigger rotates into the wrists. And then let your hands just be by your sides. We're going to come into Tadasana Mountain Pose. So we're just bringing your feet into your distance. You bring the heel of your foot over to your arch, pick up on your big toe, and just park the feet so they're parallel. Just encourage the soles of the feet to spread, anchor down to the ground, to the earth. We're going to draw earth energy, steadiness into the legs. And feel it rise into your ankles and your knees. Awareness rises into the hips and pelvis. And just breathe out as you gently engage the base of the body. Lifting that pelvic floor muscle and drawing the lower abdominals back towards your spine. And just take a few breaths here, breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in now, let the sternum lift. Some length in your spine and let the breath really fill the lungs. Take your shoulders up towards your ears. And relax those shoulders down into their sockets. And let your head face forwards. And just standing here. Standing in mountain pose. There's qualities of steadiness and strength. Calm, focus. We're going to begin. We're just going to rock backwards and forwards a tiny bit. Press the soles of the feet down into the mat. And then just coming back to standing. So our first movement this morning, that's not part of the activation, is the windmill breath. So you just begin, turn your right palm forward. What we're going to do is start moving the right side of the body. So let your hips turn towards the right. And you're going to lift your right arm up by your ear and breathe in at the same time. Let your hips come back to the front. So left arm is going to lift up. As you breathe out, comes up by your ear, hips come back to the front. So breathing in as your right arm lifts. Left arm comes down. Breathing out as that right arm comes down, left arm. So it's like there are two wheels at the side of the body. Just keep your arms creating these lovely circles. Synchronizing your breath, so as your right arm lifts up, you breathe in. As the arm comes down, you breathe out. First of all, we're just going to focus on the physical body. Where your arms are in relation to your body. And then really tune into your breath. If you want to close your eyes, you can. And then just pause in when your right arm returns back by your ear. And breathe out as that arm comes down. Turning your left palm forward now. And letting your hips turn. And breathing in as that left arm comes up by your ear. So breathe out as the left arm comes down, right arm lifts up. And then just getting into that lovely flow. Your arms moving like the sails of a windmill. And this is amazing if you've had any chest problems. It's the oxygen, the air into the lower parts of things. So just moving as slow or as fast as you're breathing today. Always stay the same distance apart. Okay, next time your left arm comes up by your ear, just pause. And that arm comes down by your side. Just taking a moment to stand. Stillness. Bringing both arms in front, as if they're going to be lifted up by your elbows. So we're just going to get that heart center, the energetic heart, open. So when we work with our practice, when the energy rises from the base, it rises into an open place. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the magic of Drew this morning. I'm sure you've all experienced it. But when we do Drew yoga, there's like a recipe that happens. And the first part of the recipe is your physical body. So as you move in this way, really notice your physical body, how your legs stretch, how the sternum lifts, and how your arms feel as they create those circles. And then the second part of the recipe is your breath. As you move now, you tune into your breath. Hear the sound of the breath and synchronize your movement. So as you breathe in, your arms lift. As you breathe out, your arms come down. And then the third part of the recipe is sensation. So as you move your arms now, you might start to notice how the air feels as your arms move past. Or maybe tuning into some subtle sensations in your body. And just notice how that feels. And then just pausing with your arms up above your body. The sternum lift. Roll in your last 3 fingers and cover them with your thumb. So your index fingers are extended. And then the fourth part of the recipe is to work with your intellect. And to do that, we work with an affirmation. And we're working with the energy of the heart. And heart power is all about courage and determination. So this morning, as we continue this movement, I'd like you to use an affirmation of I'm filled with courage. And we're just going to say that silently in your head as you continue to create these circles. I am filled with courage. My heart is filled with courage. And sometimes it's just that courage to get up in the morning. Let's greet the day. Just notice how it feels. Still having that awareness of breath. And then pause once more with your arms up above your head. Final time, lift the sternum, let your elbows come forward. I am filled with courage. And then release your hands so your palms stretch out. And just let both arms come down by your sides. Sink into your knee. Turn your palms up towards the sky, lift up. Stretching as you lift up, feeling that strength, that vitality sinking back into your knees, and then lifting the arms once more. And the arms come down. Lift the hands up in front of your heart center. And send both hands away. And you're going to breathe back in, breathing back into that heart space. Filling your lungs and working with the energy of the heart, the qualities, compassion, kindness, courage, unconditional love, all those sorts of things. So as you move in this way, feel as if you're drawing whatever quality might be of benefit to you today. Could just be having that kindness for yourself. Expansion through the ribs, through the chest. Lovely. And then just pause with your arms out in front. Just do a few rotations into the arms. Just to squeeze away any tension that's accumulated. You never know, you might have been doing your crochet. Let the arms come up to shoulder height. So as I come from a long line of crocheters. I can't crochet though, got no patience for it. My friends make elaborate pieces, they can do anything. Let your hands come back down by your sides. Let your arms rest. Hands onto your hips, separate your feet a bit further apart, circle your hips a few times. And then see if you can keep your shoulders still as you send your hips around in a few circles. It's a lot more challenging. You have to really bend into your knees. Just do a few circles one way and then the other. So we're isolating the movement and come back to standing. Just going to do a few forward bends and we're going to stretch the sacrum, and then we're going to work with our beautiful Padhastasana peace pose. So these are just gentle, soft forward bends without too much focus. Soften your knees a little bit, and you're going to let your hands just be in front of the body, backs of the hands together, and you're going to breathe in as you lift the arms up, stretch up. And fold forward, palms face down, and you just relax down into your forward bend. Lovely stretch through your hamstrings. Bend your knees, engage core, lift back up, stacking each vertebrae. Lift up, open out. Sit, and then we're coming back down to the earth, breathing out as you float down. These are just preparation forward bends. So as you lift up, you're going to stack each vertebra. Lift your arms up through the midline, breathe in as you rise. And breathe out, flowing down towards the ground. This time just pause and stay down there for a moment or two. You can bend your knees, let your abdomen rest onto your thighs. And then taking your fingertips behind at the ankles, and you're going to trace the fingertips up the back line of the legs and place your hands in underneath the ribs. I'm just going to lift the sternum. So lift the chest and you're going to slide your hands in underneath your ribs. Engage your glutes and core. Keep your chin towards your chest and recline back a little way. So you're stretching the front of the body. Engage core, engage glutes, lift up, Release your hands from the sacrum, come down into your forward bend. Bend in those knees, engage core, press down into the feet. Lift your hands back up through the midline. Breathe in as you rise. Beautiful. Oxygen-filled chest, lungs. And then relaxing back down. This is your final time. Pause down here, bend your knees. Take your fingertips behind at your ankles and slide the hands up the back line of the legs as you come back up to standing. Hands underneath your ribs, chin to chest, reclining back, stacking the ribs. And lift up. Come back down into your forward bend. And then just walking your feet further apart. You've got nice wide legged stance. Hold on to your elbows and just begin to rock between your two big toes. This is stretching out your hamstrings. And then taking your right elbow towards your left big toe. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, just draw that elbow towards the toe. You'll feel the stretch in your hamstring and in the side of your body. And then relax that stretch, go back into your swinging movement. And then taking your left elbow towards your right big toe, drawing down. And then release both hands down towards the mat. Bring your feet back to hip distance and lower yourself down into whatever your squat might be today. So bring your feet back together, unravel your spine, let your arms just float up, balancing the balls of the feet. And in this balance, bring your focus towards your breath. Bring your fingertips back to the earth. You're going to lift your hips and pelvis high and draw your chin back towards your shins. And then coming back down again. But this time, instead of standing up, you're going to bring your right knee down onto the mat and your left foot forward. So we go into the runner pose. So if you want a blanket for your knee, you can grab one. We're going to stretch the mighty psoas muscle. And your psoas muscle, big muscle that connects your trunk to your legs. You want your knee over your foot, hand just behind your knee, and sink down into that psoas stretch. Make sure that your spine is upright and you've got space between your chest and your knee, so you're not hanging over. Lovely. Engage core muscles, breathe in, lift yourself back up, lift your hands up to heart center. Excuse me. And then we're going to work with this pose in a flowing way. So reaching forward, really let your knee sink into your abdomen, breathe in, draw back. And this is where it becomes a whole body movement and it activates the heart center. So you're breathing in, you're drawing in, you're reaching forwards. Beautiful, flowing. And feel as though you're open to receive whatever qualities might work for you today. That openness, that trust. Come back to your center point and take your weight back. Lift up the toes of your left leg and then just fold forward so you get in a hamstring stretch. If it feels too much, you can place the sole of the foot back down. You either want to have your hands by your side of your knee or your shin, and then you're going to lengthen your spine. You're doing great. Just hover your chin over your leg. And use your in-breath to gently lengthen. And then the out-breath to relax into that stretch. Fantastic. Place the sole of your foot back down onto the mat. Lift up and swap your legs over. I'm going to turn around though so I can see you then. So once you've got into your shape, you want to have your glutes on, core muscles on, pelvis upright, knee over the foot, your hand goes behind your knee, you breathe in, and as you breathe out, it's sinking down to that lovely psoas stretch. Just letting your breath be really long, even breaths. And then we're going to engage core and lift back up, so you rise up, bring your hands up in front of your heart center, and then go into that flow. So you're just moving forwards and drawing back in. As you draw in, you really use your core. Stretching forwards, breathing in into that heart center. That's great. And the psoas muscle can get very tight if we become stressed or anxious, or if you do a lot of driving under pressure. Okay, now this time, as you draw back, pause for a second. Adjust your foot, lift your heel, place your hands down somewhere nearby. And then breathe in. As you breathe out, point your chin down towards your shins, lift your toes, and enjoy. Experience a hamstring stretch. Fantastic. Draw your heel back, place your knees down onto the mat, place both hands down onto the mat. So you're coming into Majariasana, and then we're just going to work with Majariasana a couple of times. So draw tummy button up towards your spine, arch your back, chin comes in towards your chest, and then move from the base. So you just move through each vertebra, head comes up, last of all, and enjoy that journey. As you breathe out, back arches, you're really using the muscles in your abdomen. And as your back arches, really press down into the palms. Let the breath move into the back, and then breathe in as you flow forwards. And then I'm just going to invite you to flow a few times with your own breath ratio through Majariasana. That's great. And come back to neutral. And bring your hips back to join your heels. Coming down into pose of a child, bringing your hands back by your ankles, or making two fists and placing your forehead on two fists. You arrive into your child's pose. Really feel nourished down here. Direct your breath into the scapula, to your back, feel that space. Breathe out, just relaxing. I invite you to come up. Whenever you're ready, just start lifting up from the base and come into a seated position. Just make yourself comfy for a moment or two. Do you feel peaceful? I'm agreeing for you. I hope you do anyway. So it's just we've just had a taste of that heart. So we're really getting into this heart center, into the lungs, into the breath, feeling connected. I'm going to demonstrate Padhastasana, the peace pose. And peace pose translates as a forward bend, but there's so much more to it than just a simple forward bend. And when we practice it in the Drew way, you really get to experience the energy of the pose. So your energetics are, I'm going to come into a forward bend and I'll demonstrate for you. It's stretching out this part of the body, the sacrum. And the qualities of that area are your emotions, feeling stuck sometimes in life. And when we work with this area that's connected to water, it can help things to flow more easily. So I'm going to place a block down in front of me to make it easier and to make it possible to stay in the pose. So we've stretched out the hamstrings quite well already. So I'm hoping the hamstrings will be stretched out. But when we work with Padhastasana, if you want to bend your knees, you can do. The best way to, the way to direct yourself away from the energy of the pose is to be in pain. So we want to avoid being in any kind of pain. Right, enough talking from me, I shall show you. Are you still there? Now I went off onto another planet. It's so potent, this pose, honestly. Bring yourself up to standing. And, oh, it's cold. Bring yourself up to standing and get yourself a block, because it feels really help to have the block there. And we're going to do it a couple of times. We'll do it we'll probably do it about 3 times. And then the 3rd time, we'll hold it for a period of time. Now, if you start to feel a bit heady, so if you've had a cold or anything like that, do come up. Don't let yourself get filled up. So please listen to your own body. So when we work with Padhastasana, we're going to come into Tadasana first of all, and really feel down into your feet, your legs, feel grounded, feel connected to the earth. Earth element is your legs and the base. Going to draw that earth energy up, feel steady. Your knees be soft, park your pelvis into neutral. Lengthen your spine. Breathe out. Let your shoulders come up towards your ears, circle them back. Draw your chin in towards your neck. And we're going to start by bringing the palms together to begin with. So you connect in your hands in front of the heart center, bringing into balance the 2 sides of the body. Then release your wrists, turn your fingers down towards the earth and open out. And then you place your hands just onto the top of your thighs. And it starts off with a breath. Let the breath lengthen your spine. And then as you breathe out, you start hinging forward from the waist. And we take several breaths to get down. So you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, you start to move down. Breathe in, you're lengthening your spine in tabletop back, and then you're breathing out, sliding those hands down. Let your knees have a soft bend in them. Breathe in, as you breathe out, you fold a bit further down, and you're folding your abdomen in towards your thighs. So once you've got to tabletop back, you just want to slide your hands down towards the block. And then you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe in, feel as though that breath is rising up through the backs of your legs. towards the base of the body, and it's flowing down from the base of your spine towards the crown of your head. And it's creating like a circuit of energy. Just focusing on your breath down here. How do you feel? If your legs feel a bit tight, bend your knees. And as you breathe, feel your abdomen pressed against your thighs. We're going to start to lift up now, so refresh core. Press down into the soles of the feet, and you can start coming up, breathing in as you lift up. And take a few breaths to come up. And then you're going to take both hands either side of the body, lift both arms up. Let your palms come together overhead. Put your hands down to rest in front of your heart center now. What happens is we're bringing the head down lower than the heart. We're going to work with it again. Release your hands, let your hands come down the baseline. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, relax, place your hands onto your thighs. And then take a couple of breaths to get down there. So breathe in, lengthen. And as you breathe out, just start taking your time. Pause as you breathe out. Breathe in, lengthen, breathe out, slide those hands down. Breathe in, lengthen, breathe out. Lovely, and then let your hands come forwards. And you can either place your hands onto the block, or if you wish to, you can place your fingertips underneath your toes. So you're creating a complete circle. And again, now this time in that pose, check that you feel comfortable. Adjust your legs as you need to. Tucking your head, creating that circuit. Now this time in your circuit, inviting in a flow of energy, of light. And that energy and light flows in again through the soles of your feet, along the back of the legs towards the base of the spine. Becomes bright to the sacrum and then flows down towards the brain. Refreshing the brain, refreshing your eyesight. Breathing into the top of the back. And starting to come up now, engaging those glutes, core muscles. Stacking each vertebra. Lifting up slowly so you don't get dizzy. Take your arms around. Just taking your time. Allowing the lungs to fill as you raise your arms up, connecting your arms up overhead. Feel steadiness in your body. Let those hands come down to heart center. Now this time I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes for a moment or two. And just notice where you can feel any warmth or sensation in your body. Release your hands down. Fabulous. We're going into it. Final time. So preparing for Padhastasana. Padhastasana means hand to foot pose. Your palms together in front of the heart center. Anahata. Breathe in, pressing palms together, feeling that connection. Release your hands come down by your sides. And then placing the hands onto the thighs, breathing in, lengthening, and breathe out, start to move. Breathe in, lengthen from the base to the crown. Breathe out, fold. Then, and breathe out softly, bending your knees a tiny bit, placing your hands down onto the ground or onto your block. Then lengthening up through the back of the legs. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, just drawing the crown of the head down so it hovers above the ground. Feeling that element of peace. Now just see if you can direct your breath into your back, that heart center. Become aware of the base of the body, the coccyx. sacrum. And then really bend your knees, engage core muscles and start to lift back up, but really being aware of your body, how it feels. Take your hands back up overhead one more time. Beautiful. Lifting those palms. There you go, hands come down into heart center. You might just want to close your eyes for a moment and rest in that peaceful space. And Shanti, Shanti. Lovely. I hope you experience something deeper than just a forward bend there. I'm going to invite you to come down onto your mats and just lay down on your tummies for a minute or two. Hope you're warm enough. You just come down, I don't even know what time it is. And come onto your tummies and relax down here. In across in crocodile pose, feet separate, heels and toes point down. One arm on top of the other and your forehead comes onto your arms. And we're in Makrasana, crocodile pose. So this pose works with, again, your emotions. It helps to settle you down. And as you rest in this shape here again, see if you can send your breath into your belly and into that region of your hips. Sacrum, that's where we've been working. Just resting down here, feeling so centered, so calm. Bringing your heels back together now. And then sliding your hands underneath your shoulders. Make sure the bottom part of the body is really, really relaxed from the waist down. And we're going to come into the Sphinx, Ardha Bhujanasana. Feel your belly resting on the ground. And just prepare to start to lift the chest, the torso. First of all, breathe out. Engage core muscles and start to lift from the base of the spine. Using your core, pressing down into your palms, bring your elbows in underneath your shoulders. And then check down to your elbows. Are they directly underneath your shoulders? Could you adjust them in any way to make that feel safer? Forearms down on the mat, separate your fingers and really feel the palms of the hands, the fingertips. Press the fingertips down into the mat. And then lifting up through the chest. Lift the chin so it's parallel to the floor. And feel as though there is a thread attached to your sternum. And that thread is going to draw you forward. Pressing those fingertips into the ground. And then just begin to turn your head to the right side. So you smoothly turn your head to the right. And then bring the head through the middle. Looking to the left. Bring the head back through the middle now. Now this time, let your eyes look to the right hand side. And then let your head turn. Bringing the eyes back to the middle. And then breathe in as you bring the head to the middle. Turn your eyes all the way to the left and breathe out to the left. And then the eyes come back to the middle. Let your gaze go really fuzzy. And see if you can look up towards the space between your eyebrows. Just focus on that breathing. And then have that awareness of your chest, your heart center. And in that space, in that heart center, allow yourself to invite in a beautiful, radiant, soft pink light. And as you breathe, that soft pink light becomes brighter and brighter. And then let the weight of your head drop down. Let your chin come to rest on your chest. And then take your elbows out to the side. Let your torso come back down and come back into crocodile pose. You really deserve that crocodile pose. Well done. Let your forehead rest on your arms. And in this shape, there is nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Simply resting and resetting. Deep breaths. And then bring your heels closer together. Step your heels closer together. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and lift yourself into the pose of a child. You've got that therapeutic pose. Arms are stretched out in front, and then just take your arms for a little walk in one direction. Got a nice sideways stretch. Take your hands to the other way. And then bring your hands back to the middle and back by your ankles. Tuck your head in. And then start to lift yourself up. Come back into your seated, kneeling position or seated position. And let your palms come back together. Beautiful. So we're all back. Release your hands. So that completes our physical practice this morning. It's time to lay down on your backs now. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to give me any feedback afterwards, I'd love to receive it. Because it's a new class that I've just arranged for you this morning. So come down onto your backs and lay down and get your blankets and cushions and all those nice, comfy, cozy things. Oops, you stay asleep. Parker's just over here, by the way. She's been in the whole class this morning. Mascot cat. Just settling yourselves down. So remember to drink lots of water as well. We've been working with the water element this morning. And sometimes when we work with Swadhisthana, which is the chakra area, and these poses, they can help you release stuff. So if your eyes feel a bit wet at any point in time, just know it's all good, and it's your body's way of just releasing things. Relaxing down onto your backs and Just gently tightening all the muscles in your body. Breathe into that tightness, that feeling. And then breathe out, encouraging the body to soften. I'm going to work with the legs to begin with and just circle your toes around a few times. You can both go the same way, or you can take them independently, just circling your toes around. And then breathe in and draw the toes towards you. Breathe out and push the toes away. Coming up now to the level of the knees. Press the backs of the knees down into the mat. Breathe in. And breathe out, softening your knees. And come up to your core muscles and your glutes. And just gently tighten all those muscles for the final time this morning. Glutes, draw your tummy button back towards the spine. Breathe into it. And then breathe out, just softening, relaxing. Pressing the sacrum down into the mat. Pressing the back down into the mat, massaging your shoulder blades. And then breathing into the back, breathing into that space. And breathe out. Softness fills the back. Breathe into the front of the body now. Let the sternum lift. Let your abdomen, your belly fill up with that oxygen. Breathe out. Roll your thumbs in towards your palm and then roll the arms towards you. And then breathe in. On your out breath, roll the arms away and let your palms face upwards and just gently stretch your fingers. And turn your head to the left side and the right side. Feel as though that gentle head turning is releasing any pressure. And then bring your head to the middle and spend some time with your face and scrunch up your eyes and furrow up the brow. Move the jaw, wriggle the nose. Do whatever feels good in your face. Oh. And then have a yawn. Scan through your body and see, just check in and see if any parts of the body, parts of your physical body, need any extra attention. And if they do, gently tighten and release, breathe into those parts. And then we're going to move into the feet, into your soles of the feet. And here, breathe into them and feel that sense of peacefulness in the soles of the feet. Feel as though flowers blossoming here. Your feet are soft and relaxed, breathing into them. Breathing into the ankles and the shins and that feeling of springtime, peacefulness, and flowers blossoming. Breathe out. Coming into the shins and into the calf muscles. Just allow that peaceful feeling to be present here. And just allow yourself to feel as though that flowers are blossoming in your legs and your shins and your knees. Breathe out. Feeling of peacefulness now comes into the knees and into the quads. That softness moves through your legs, and you can visualize it as a colour, as a feeling of peace. How is peace presented to you? And that peaceful feeling arrives into the hips and into the pelvis. And just allow it to soothe and relax, soften. Feeling the peacefulness now arrives into the chest, into your heart center. As you breathe in now, again, feel as though that flowers are blossoming and blooming. That feeling of positivity, of renewal in your body, your physical body. Balancing in your energy body. Feeling arrives into your arms, into your hands, into your throat center. And just breathe in that peaceful feeling into the throat, into the chest, into your face. And as this next breath is released, I invite you to spend a few moments just resting here in this place of peace. We're going to start bringing the body, the mind, emotions, everything back into balance. Above the crown of your head, allow yourself to see a blue sky. And in that blue sky, see some birds, see the sunshine, and see that promise of renewal, of the return of the light. And that vibrant sunlight begins to pour over your body and it fills you up. That vitality fills every cell and it flows down over the face, over your eyes. Breathe in and just hear the sound of that breath. And that renewal, that fresh energy flows down into your spine and it brings longevity, it brings peacefulness in your actions, in your words, in your heart. And that feeling of peace flows into your arms, into your wrists, your fingers, through the front of the body. And you deepen the breath and just start to stretch and move in your own unique way. And turn yourself over. And coming back to your seated position. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Bringing yourself into your seated position, feeling the ground underneath. Let your hands come together, rub the warmth into your hand. Feel the palms waking up. And then once your hands are nice and warm, place them over your eye. Just enjoy that final bit of darkness before separating your fingers and opening your eyes, giving your forehead a tap, and your cheeks and your head, and your jaw. Give yourself a dust off, dust away those sunbeams. Give yourself a lovely, generous hug. And then the other side, maybe need a hug too. And then take your arms up overhead. Just connect your palm. Connect your hands down. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. And welcome you back. I absolutely, wholeheartedly hope that you enjoyed this morning's class. I didn't know what I was going to teach today, to be honest with you, and then it came to, this is why I couldn't sleep, coming up with all sorts of ideas, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and it's in line with what's with Valentine's Day, the day of love and everything next week. So not here on Friday. I'll upload this video now, so if anybody wants to repeat it, I can send it to you, so you can do it again on Friday. Have a lovely week. And so if you've got any feedback for me, always please tell me, because I'd love to hear it.
I love
Good
that.
or bad.
Yeah, so did I. Thank you very much, Kelly. Lovely.
Thank you, Lynn. Nice to see you at the
Very
end.
relaxing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye.
Thank you, lovely.
Thank you, Charlotte. Lovely to see you all.
Yeah, you too. Sorry I was late. I had
Oh, it's all right. I've not started. Everyone
no.
arrived about the same time. It was good. I needed a little bit of chat time before I started this morning. I couldn't sleep last night. You missed it. I taught the bow pose in yoga last night, just spontaneously, and it just boosted me up. I was like a rocket around the house. I've got too much energy, and all these ideas were coming to me. And it's hard, when you first get up.
Wow, I can't believe that. The same thing happened to me yesterday. I did the bow pose yesterday.
Really? That's amazing.
Honestly, and I couldn't sleep. I was awake till 2 o'clock because I was doing, when you do the rocking.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like awake, anxious awake. I was
Me neither.
calm. But it's
Right.
I've never ever taught the bow pose in all my years of teaching, and last night was the first time I'd ever taught it, just because I promised the Monday students that we'd do it, and then I completely forgot and started off with the normal class, and then I was like, oh, I promised them, and I know that so we just did it, like we'd prepared and everything for it, but I'd forgotten about, well, not forgotten about it, but I'm always a bit wary of teaching it at night time, because I know that it boosts your menopause so much.
Oh, fire. Yeah, lots of fire. It's awesome though, isn't it?
It's amazing that you taught that as well yesterday.
I know. We're in sync, girl.
Yay. Have a lovely day, Charlotte, and
Bye, ladies.
see you later.
Thanks, Kelly. See you, Charlotte. Bye.
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 Bye, Chloe.
I just wanted to say, Kelly, that I really love that. I was totally blissed out by it.
Yes.
I felt really, really at peace. That's just amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because
That's the most blissed out I felt in yoga ever. So
oh, Chloe,
I
that's
really,
the best
really
feedback.
loved it. And I've got a really difficult thing to sort out. And I think like doing that peace thing before is really going to inform. I'm already approaching it in a peaceful way, but it's made me feel really strong about that, and the courage thing as well. So it was perfect for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel like I'm going to burst with happiness.
Wow,
in
it was lovely. Are you next week then? 'Cause it's half term.
I'm here next. I'm teaching kids yoga camp next week. So that I need to tell you, actually, there isn't a yoga class next Tuesday morning. But I am here Monday night, and I am here next Friday. It's Tuesday. I'm not here. So yeah, I'm teaching kids yoga camp in Meersbrook Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's been really hard-working schools this term, I have to say. I've got big groups, and I can't manage like I thought I could, but hopefully kids yoga camp will be okay. So I'm going to upload this video now, so I'll be able to send this to you, so you can do this Friday, and then Monday Oh, it's the same class actually, what I teach on Monday. So you'll have got this. So
See you next Friday.
why don't you come to my Tuesday evening class next week at Healy Institute? Just as a gift. It's a 7:30 on Tuesday night, so you could come to that if you wanted as an option, because I'm not here Tuesday morning. It's the options there for you if you want to come in the evening.
Okay, thank you.
See you later.
Kelly,
Bye-bye.
you don't live stream your Healy class, do you?
No, I've never done it. I can't. My battery on my phone doesn't last long enough, and I've just never streamed, and done it live. I know you do.
It's madness, but it's
I wouldn't be
good
able
fun.
to cope, Rachel. I wouldn't be able to cope. I'd be looking. Oh God, I just can't. I find it hard to like. I need to just focus on one thing. Once I've got, it's like when the cat comes in the room, I'm just like, I have to focus. That's why we do our yoga, isn't it? To help us like channel that.
It is, yeah. Oh well, fine. So I won't see you next week then. So I had a little sob to myself when I realised there's no class next Tuesday.
Can you do next Friday, maybe?
No, I'm working. I've got a workshop next Friday.
Well, I'm going to upload this video now. So this video's out, and my YouTube channel's got loads. You need me though, don't you?
I do need.
You need it live.
I need a time, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I
I'm the
need
same, I'm the
discipline. I think in many ways we're very similar.
Yeah.
We're both Geminis as well, aren't we?
Are you Gemini as well? I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I am. I like to chat. And you know what's even funnier, Rachel? You know this photo you've got here?
Yeah.
I've got one of me exactly the same. That someone once took of me having a wee in a bush in Malta. I know, but it's exactly the same. I'll dig it out for you because it amused me that first day you came to class. I was like, kindred spirit does.
Actually not weeing in the bush, I'm hugging the tree.
I know you're hugging the tree, but I was weeing in the bush. I was just coming out of having a wee in the bush.
There is another picture of me that looks like I'm having a wee in a bush, but I wasn't. I was just, we were geocaching, so I was in a bush. But then there's a whole catalogue of photographs of me hugging trees, up trees, hiding behind trees, just trees.
What's geocaching?
It's like a treasure hunt using GPS.
Oh wow, that sounds like fun.
Oh, I'll send you some information if you want. It's amazing. It gets you out all over the place.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like, we did an Alice in Wonderland thing in Sheffield the other week, and it was like well, I've never played Pokemon, but it was like that in Sheffield. It was like a treasure hunt. Everybody was dressed up as Alice in Wonderland characters, and people were just all over Sheffield trying to solve these clues and find all the stuff. And I didn't think I'd like it, but I did. I thought it was great, having something to do and somewhere to be and like a bit of competition going on. We used to love, sorry, I can't stop talking.
That's all right.
We used to go on loads of treasure hunts in the 80s. It was a big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The whole family would pile in and we'd all, like, there'd be treasure hunts all set up because I'm from out near, I'm from the peaks really. And like the people in the village, they'd set up these massive treasure hunts that like all people would be competing and it'd be so much fun, honestly. It would be great. I love them.
Well, I'll send you some information about geocaching because you actually do find it's like Pokemon Go, but it's real because you find something.
I wouldn't. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I don't play Pokemon. I'm doing that.
You actually do find a container with a logbook and you sign it to say.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, that sounds like loads of fun. Yeah, send me some info. I'll check that out.
I think your bow pose is still affecting you.
I do too. I feel I've got to go. I've got a busy day today. I'm going to get my face laser to get all the hair blasted off it, which would be great. My woman's been away. I've not had an appointment for 6 months at least. So I'm going there now, and then I've got to teach up at Nethergreen, and then I've got to teach at my class down in Healy. So I've got a day full. So I'm going to say goodbye.
All right, lovely. I've really enjoyed this morning's session as well. Loved it.
I feel like a new person because I didn't feel too bright this morning when I woke up.
Well, you've definitely woken up now.
Yay! Super duper. See you, Rachel.
Look after yourself, darlings.
Loads of love. Bye bye.